farmers, welcome back to Hinterland. Can I go out this way? Probably not the best idea. Those will clip through. Those are not collidable headers on the root crop harvester. But we'll go out this way to make it look more realistic. I mean, we just barely get underneath it as it is. But the rain has finally stopped. While it was raining, of course, I took care of the cattle, took care of some production building stuff. The straw crates needed to be emptied on out along with the hats and purses so we can keep on making more of those. That could use some more water over there. I'm just about out of water, but still got about 100,000 liters of straw. The sugar factory is out of sugar beet, so we're going to do that first here this afternoon. The rain really just stopped about maybe 1:45. It's now 2:15, so maybe not the best time to go out in the harvester and get right to working, but here we are. Things need to be done. I was going to set a worker off doing the soybean field, but that field there, it gets kind of close to some trees, and I think the Frank family might have a little bit of a problem harvesting around there, so we'll take care of that later on. But I want to get the first of the 2 sugar beet fields harvested so I can get some sugar beet in there, start making sugar, of course, so we can get that over to the dairy production for chocolate, over to the flavored milk bottling company to make strawberry milk, and also get some into the bakery, so at some point we can start making some cakes as well. So we got up to 112,000 because we did bring over some manure and slurry over to the BGA, and of course that was processed over into electricity. And if you forgot last episode, we made nice little marshmallows from that cotton field over there. That was all brought over along with the wool from the sheep to go ahead and start making some fabric, which is also being made into clothing in that building. So when May rolls around, we should have a decent amount of clothing, more than we had last year. Last year wasn't that bad. Actually, I had more clothing than I thought I did last year, or more than I thought I was going to get. So yeah, you can see the rain really just stopped here in the middle of the afternoon. Now with the sun out, it's really hazy around here. But the weather looks good for the rest of the month, the rest of the day here, so we should be able to get the harvesting done. Sugar beet, not going to take too long to take care of. I do believe all the sugar beet I'm harvesting is going to be brought over to the mill to be processed to sugar. We got a decent amount in the silo, if I remember correctly, but we need the sugar beet for the sheep and the chickens. Not a whole lot, but let me just double check on this. So yeah, sheep, that would be... Is that protein for them? No, wait, what is it? It's not power food. Maybe it's roughage? It's in here somewhere, is it not? Oh, there we go. It's considered moisture food for the sheep, sugar beet. And then the chickens, the soybeans, which we're going to harvest later on, wheat, sorghum. We do got corn and sugar beet. There we go. So for the chickens as well. The chickens are not going to go through that much. And I don't think the sheep are going to go through that much either. They are going to go through some. If you remember last year, the sheep that we had, I think we had like 30 or 40 at the time. The pasture they get grass from was enough to keep their, their feed trough rather on the full side. But it doesn't do that anymore. And we're just going to get more and more sheep. So we're going to have to feed them this winter for the first time, I believe. Already up to 120,000 liters of sugar beet. This can hold 200,000. And of course our trailer can hold 120. I just want to get this process started. Maybe I won't even finish this whole field. Maybe I'll just bring a trailer over, and then we'll grab our Fendt combine, our Ideal Fendt, bring it on over, and we'll start harvesting the soybeans. There's no sense of rushing to get all the sugar beet into the mill. They can only process so much at a time anyways. So we got sugar beet here. We got sugar beet over across from the farmhouse that needs to be harvested. We got this month and next month, right? We still can do it in November, I believe. The grass field, we have one grass field that's ready to be cut. I think we're going to hold off on that until November, and we'll do both grass fields at the same time. And when we do that, we're going to be making some hay. Getting a little low on that, but not in a desperate need of hay. We got plenty probably to get to until next spring, but we're going to go ahead and make some because no sense of making conditioned grass We got plenty of that, and that's in November. That's when we take the conditioned grass and we wrap it on up and make some silage out of it. Now, the one thing I got to remember to do, but I think we're fine. So I'm just going slow here because I don't want to overfill the harvester. But for silage bales that we got wrapped, we got yellow bales in the bale shed and we got white ones. The yellow ones are like grass silage. The white ones are whole crop silage, which I need for the sheep. So I got to make sure I don't use the whole crop silage to make TMR for our dairy cattle. We don't want to be doing that. Well, we can get a lot of sugar beet off this field, which is great. Let's go ahead and grab the Volvo truck and trailer. And when I drive past the silo, let's just stop by there, and I want to double check on our capacity in there. If we got over 100,000 liters, which I think we're going to, or did I leave it at, I think we had 120 and I took 60 over to the mill to be yeah, I may only have 60,000 liters, which I think is enough for the chicken and the sheep for another year. But if we got over 50,000, then yeah, I'm happy with that, and we'll bring everything over. More sugar, the better for us. And actually, maybe upgrading the sugar production building could be something that we may need to do here. Let me just stop right here for a second. We'll get on out. And let's see, sugar beet. Okay, we got 36,000. Even that, I think, is enough. I think that's plenty enough. I remember in FS19 there was a mod to where you could have a digital display out by your silo to show you how much is there. Did that mod come back out for FS22? I don't remember. Don't remember. I want to say maybe it has. That was a nice mod when it came out. I really liked it. But was it? I can't remember. In FS19, you couldn't walk up to the silo and just displayed what it had in there, right? Like I just did. Did that do that in FS19? Don't remember. Can't remember now. So many mods now in Farming Simulator. It's really insane. How far the game has come. I remember when I started playing FS13 and FS15, you pretty much the mod hub on Farming Simulator didn't come out until FS17. So all mods in 13 and 15 when I was playing, you had to go to like third-party websites and find them there and download them and do a whole bunch of stuff. And there wasn't that many out there. Compared to nowadays, to where Giants every couple days releases, I don't know, like 10 to 15 mods. And it's great. You just got to download them and automatically puts it to your folder, and then you just got to go into the game and activate them. Let's see. The drop-off point for sugar in the back. Oh, I haven't fixed this bump yet. A little bit of a bump here. Where's this drop-off point? Must be in the front. There's all the straw that we made in the last month. Alright, drop-off point in the front. There we go. Nope, back up a little bit. There we go. 120,000 liters going in, and that should reactivate that building right there. Let's scroll on down to make sure. Hide inactive, and then sugar beet. There we go. It's going back on in, and we're making sugar once again. Straw accessories, missing material. That's water. Chocolate, I'm sure, is missing sugar, which it is. And potato, I'm leaving that on. I don't want to turn it off because I get that problem where it says out of space, which means it has no space to spawn stuff. People are saying that they think it has to do with the factory's upgrade mod, which it could be, but I'm not sure if that's what it is. I'm going to do the same thing with the industrial BGA, because we bring slurry and manure here every 2 months, and not long from now I'll probably be bringing it over every month, so I'm just going to leave that on. We're only talking production cost a month $150, $150. You know, if I leave everything on, it's probably cost me an extra $1,000. And in the long term, that's not a whole lot. So I'm just going to leave those on. Yeah, I could have saved myself like $1,000, maybe $2,000 a night or a month with production buildings. But as long as I keep them running, then it's worth it. And if it stops it from getting that out of space problem, then it's even more so worth it. There's 4,000 liters of clothing that we can see. Who knows what's in storage in there? Alright, so now we got the sugar factory back up and going. Let me go over, and I think the best thing to do is harvest the soybeans. Just to get that field taken care of. That'll take a little bit longer. The sugar beet harvesting won't take us that long to complete. Yeah, I need to go back around here and kind of curve the corners of the roads a little bit. But that's what we can do as we keep on playing here in Hinterland. The more we play on the map, the more we can see the routes that we'd like to take and what we need to do. And of course we can always change roads. Even where the roads are now, we can always change it up and, you know, put fields back in if we want to. Alright, let me teleport back here. That is fine. Let's see, combine first, and then we'll get the JCB. Or the JCB is actually was feeding the cattle, the moo cows. Where is my case tractor? Ah, it's right over there by the baler. So maybe we'll have the case bring it on over, and we'll hitch up to the header and start harvesting some soybeans. That way our chickens will have a whole bunch of feed. And this soybean harvest here, we pretty much did because, well, last year we had corn in the rotation. This year we didn't plant corn. And at least with soybeans, that really helps us out with a crop rotation. So I think next year when it comes time to put a crop in this field with soybeans, we'll have more choices. And, well, we needed soybeans anyways for the chickens, but not this much. But we'll keep it in storage. And our chickens will be very, very happy. Alright, can we teleport? Oh, right to the case. I almost said Magnum. It is, yeah, it is the Magnum. Sorry. And yes, I do know that the case has worn down a little bit, and we are losing some horsepower. But really, this tractor here has more horsepower than what we need to take care of all the jobs. Maybe when I go to plow, which I'll need to do with the sugar beet field, when it comes time to plowing, we'll probably repair the case Magnum. But even our plow, which is I think it's a cultivator modded to a plow, I don't think it requires that much horsepower. Yep, I'm actually using the header. I don't know if we can call this a trailer. It's a trailer setup. I mean, we got like a dolly with an attachment to it, so. I think that'll be good. Let me go ahead into the Fendt Combine. First off, let me unfold the Combine. Now we're close enough to hitch to the trailer. And then, let me go ahead and we'll put down the back end of the trailer dolly. We'll drop that right there. Okay, let me unfold the header, which is the ends coming on down. And I don't think on this map here we can get a straw swap with soybeans, which is fine. It's all good. Oh, I probably should. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and turn off the case. Because one, we're wasting diesel, and then I do believe when it's running, of course it'll do some wear and tear, and my repair bill will go up a little bit higher than it needs to. So with soybeans, not going to be, it's going to be a good harvest. Wait, what's the harvest? What's the potential over here? Wow, 141%. So a really good yield. Actually, if I bring up the map. Okay, well, we can see the area of the field that we're in. The soil must be really, 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 really good here. It's a nice dark green. But the rest of the field is kind of like between a green and yellow. So it's not going to be as great. But soybeans, not going to harvest as well. Overall, you can see what the map looks like and how the yield plans out with the soils that we have. But basically, what I need to say is the amount of soybean we're going to get off this field is going to be enough to feed the chickens for a while. So in the future, anytime we do some soybeans, we can always bring them over to the bakery, because the bakery here on Hinterland, I do believe, 99.9% sure that we can create oil in that bakery, which is rather nice. The soybean with crop rotation is going to come in handy because it can kind of reset the field. I thought about doing oilseed radish on some of the fields if I need to reset the crop rotation. I don't know how well that does, but at least with soybean I get a crop off of it. But I think someone did mention in an earlier episode of Hinterland that oilseed radish grows in a month. And basically what you do is kind of like a cover crop. You plant oilseed radish into a field, it grows, and then you cultivate it in, and it gives you a stage of fertilization. Now, the one thing I don't know, does that work with precision farming? I don't know if it does or doesn't. And we got to be careful because we don't want to over-fertilize the field before we put a crop into it, because over-fertilizing is just as bad as under-fertilizing. So it will hurt crop yield potential if we over-fertilize. I do like this combine. The color of it, for sure. Interesting color. I didn't know Fendt had this color. Now, the only issue we have with this combine is with our corn header. But we'll deal with that at a different time. We'll figure out that situation in the future. It's fine if I do it like this field here. It was mostly okay because it was relatively flat. I think the problem I have with the ideal harvesters is the angle of the corn header, the modded corn header that we use, and maybe where it attaches to the combine. The angle of the corn header points down more, and I think what happens is it digs into the ground a little bit. That's why going uphill, you'll either do 1 or 2 miles an hour or come to a complete halt. But on flat ground, it stays up okay, but the RPMs get, even though this combine here is 700 horsepower, like a 690 horsepower engine, the RPMs just get cranked way up on it. Actually, this is yielding better than I thought. So what we got left to do this season, because the end of the year is just about here. Of course, we're harvesting the soybeans here, the sugar beet field there, and then we got the smaller sugar beet field across from the farmhouse that we got to take care of. That won't take us too long. And then we got the 2 grass fields, and then we're pretty much, wrapping up the season, trying to take care of the fields as best we can before winter gets here. I need to... Did I finish? I don't think I finished putting the lime in the cereal crop fields. I think I need to finish that. That's the thing. I put that job off, I do believe, and that's been, for me, it's been like 6 days ago since I recorded that episode. I don't think I finished putting lime down on those fields, so. But what I usually try to do is once I get all my harvesting in the fields done, and before I blow through winter, I usually try to go around the fields and be like, did I get everything done? Sometimes I overlook something, but then again, you're not always going to catch everything, are you? At least I don't. And the good news is, with the land that we got, this header is picking up most of it. And I kind of forgot, I mentioned it before. I'm like, oh yeah, this header's doing well. That's why I went with this header rather than the 60-footer. Yeah, I couldn't go with a 60-footer on this combine because, well, the pipe would not reach. So I would have a little bit of a problem emptying out into the truck. As you can see, be a little bit of a problem. But for now, all the soybean will go right into the silo, and then if we, by next year, if we got way too much, we can always bring over to the bakery and make some soy. Am I wrong on that? Olive oil, canola oil, sunflower oil. No, okay, I'm wrong on that. So soybean oil. So wait a minute, is there something I could do with soybean? I thought there was somewhere. Soybean, soybean, soybean. Is there a modded one here I could do soybean? I mean, we can grow soybean in the greenhouses. Grain grist. Olive, canola, sunflower. I guess I can't do anything with it. All right. What about the... No, that's just hay production, I believe. Pellet production, that's what it's called. So I can't make pellet. Yeah, so you probably were laughing at me before when I said we can make some oil with it. So, yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and store it and then sell it at the best time if I want to. All right. Well, we'll still make money off it, and it's a good way to reset the field either way. Well, now that I know that, and goofed up on that, meaning making oil with soybeans, so anyone that does precision farming, have you done the oilseed crop, and does it add a stage of fertilizer, and does it work? I may now have to do it just to see for myself if no one replies to that. But it would be kind of interesting to find out what it does. I should slow down the time scale because being October, it's going to get dark real soon. So I'm going to put it just at 2 times. I had it at 6 times because I was feeding the cows during the rain time. I think it started raining at 9:30 in the morning, and it quit just before 2 in the afternoon. So it rained for quite a while. And in reality, probably would not be harvesting the rest of the day, but here we are. I'm okay with a harvesting day because we're playing 1 day per month, so 1 hour of game time in a month is like a full day. So the crop would have time to dry in a full day. Basically 30 days in a month. 24 hours in a day. We play 1 day per month, so yeah, one hour passes by. It's kind of like passing a day in a month. So we should be able to, get all the soybean into the trailer. Am I going to get 120,000 liters off this field? I don't think so. Of course, the more times I go around the field, the radius gets a little bit smaller, which means I'm not going to get as much in the combine as I go around. But it's all going to be good. Chickens will be happy. Although the chickens aren't going to the feed, so they were probably happy with the amount of soybeans. Actually, I don't think I got any soybeans in the silo. I think we gave all the soybeans that we had. But now we got plenty. Harvest is going real well. I have no idea how much I put into the trailer. I haven't been keeping track. Even when I unload, it's not always a full combine, so... but if I were to guess, I got like maybe half a trailer in there, so maybe 60,000 liters currently. Header's doing a wonderful job. Better than I am. I have missed a spot or two once in a while. Trying to maximize the width of the header. Sometimes I'm maximizing it a little bit too much. But as you can see, we're just about done here. Should be able to fit the rest of this into the combine. As we approach 5 o'clock in the evening. So sun's going to be going down here sooner rather than later. Being October, I think it's going to get dark in a couple of hours. If it wasn't for the rain today, I probably could have got all the harvesting done, even the grass field that's ready to be cut. There's not really a rush on the grass field too much. We got next month to get it done. Unless, I haven't checked the forecast, unless the weather's going to be terrible. Actually, am I going to be able to put the rest of these soybeans in here? I thought I was going to be able to, but the yield is going really well here. Yeah, I only can fit a couple more thousand liters in here. It's going to be snug. Can I get this on one pass? No. And am I going to fill up before I get to the end? Looks like it. Alright, let's go unload. I mean, the more the better. It's always good. And it'd just be easier to bring the combine over to the truck. Oh yeah, I did want to mention, because someone did leave a comment last episode. Yes, I did see your comment. I don't remember your name right now, because I forgot to leave the screen up. But I did read I read all comments, good and bad. I would say 95% of the comments I get are good, and there's occasionally ones that we just get just like, yeah, okay. They don't bother me. I don't mind the criticism. But I do read all comments. I don't get that many yet where I can't keep up. Maybe someday. A couple more passes here, then we'll bring these soybeans over. Put them into the silo, and then we'll put this combine away for the year. I think we are done with it. Almost at 5.5 hours, working hours on this combine. And we can plant everything in the springtime, so we'll figure out the crop rotation next season. Which, the way it goes, it could be in like 3 episodes from now, because wintertime, not much to do other than feed the cows and probably feed the sheep this year. Keep an eye on the production buildings, make sure they keep up and going. I mean, we may have, well, we're going to have a few episodes, I say, through the winter months. I call the winter months December through February. I think we're going to have to cut down some more trees for the sawmill. Alright, let's go ahead and dump the rest of these soybeans in. Then I'll take the header off. Alright. Let's go ahead and fold up the header first. Alright, and then I gotta come over to here and pick up this back into the trailer. And that should be, there we go, got it. And then bring it over to the dolly part of the trailer. And if I just put it like right there, that should be good. Let's go ahead and pull up the combine while we're doing that. And ta-da, we got ourselves a header on a trailer. Let's just go ahead and move this out of the way. I'll take care of that later on. Same thing for the combine. Let's park this out of the way. I am seeing I need to make a couple of parking areas for the farm. One being like right here, because I've done this twice now, I think. And the other one is over by our grass field, where the 3 cereal crop fields were this year. Well, 60,887 is what we got off the field. So I thought it was at 60,000 when I brought you guys back, but not quite. All this goes into the silo for now. And now I know I can't make oil with it. Soybean oil. That'd be kind of different, I guess. I think I was having a brain fart and thinking of canola, which we can make into oil. Dump those all on there. Got to give it a second. And then we can head over and do a little bit more sugar beet harvesting. We already got some fields plowed up, so where the potatoes were this year, those have been plowed up, so the sugar beet fields will need to be plowed. I don't know what other fields might need some lime, but turn the truck off there, and we'll at least get one more headland done here with the sugar beet. Yeah, would not be doing root crop harvesting if it wasn't for this lovely mod that we have here from Mark Thor. It's the working with. That's what it comes down to for me. The working speed, we don't need the one that goes at high speed. If I did that, I'd have this field done in like a minute and a half. And of course, the capacity also helps, having 200,000 liter capacity. This is a key crop that we have planted now, making that sugar so we can go ahead and make all the products that we mentioned early on. It's a lot of sugar beet. I think I'll hold off on upgrading the sugar factory for now. For this reason, if we go through the sugar beet in a harvesting season before we harvest again, there's not really a need to upgrade it, because we're not backlogging on the crop itself, so upgrading it would only get the sugar to the factories quicker, but at some point then I wouldn't have any more sugar beet to make sugar for like half a year. So yeah, why spend the $80,000 it would cost, I think $88,000 to upgrade the sugar factory? And if I do have a little bit leftover sugar beet, we can always bring it to the BGA to get processed into electricity. I know it's only 5:15, but it's already starting to seem like it's getting a little bit dark, which is, for where I live in the Northern Hemisphere, in October, that would be somewhat correct, depending on your daylight savings time when that happens. It used to happen in October where I live, and now it's more like in November. So anywhere between 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening in October would start to get a little bit dark as the sun sets. as it does. That's what happens when the sun sets. It gets dark, right? And the sun's over there somewhere, hiding behind those clouds from the rain earlier on. Well, if the weather holds up the rest of this month, we will get the sugar beet harvesting done this month, and that way I can just focus on making some hay from the grass fields and getting some lime spread in the cereal crop fields, which I don't think I finished. So far, harvesting the sugar beet in this field. This field here is going to get a little bit wavy in the middle. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised when I continue harvesting that we may miss a spot or two. We'll have to go back and pick it on up. This is definitely going to fill up our trailer. There we go. Turn that off. Cover that up, and we'll go around this way. So only one set of lights on this truck, apparently. All right. Don't really need them, but you can see it does make a little bit of a difference this time in the evening in October. Just trying to get an idea of how much more sugar beet we're going to get off that field. And of course, still got the smaller field over here. Gonna go easy around the corner, don't want to tip over. So this field just to our right. Might get a couple 100,000 of sugar beet off that field. Yeah, so maybe paint this road in a little bit like that as well. I don't really come from that direction often. Currently we don't anyways. There's multiple ways I could go here, but I think we'll go to the left. So the grass field just to our right could be harvested this month, but it's not fully grown, so we're going to hold off until next month. Same with that field over there. That field is ready. That's at the full height, but we'll take care of them both next month. And then of course we'll ted it, windrow it, and bale it up as some hay, so we can make lovely TMR for the cows. And of course the sheep will require some as well. Not TMR, but the hay itself. So plenty of sugar beet now in the sugar factory. But there'll be more to come here. I think this can hold 1 million liters of sugar beet. Try to remember. I don't remember how much it can hold because I didn't use the base game sugar beet sugar factory on No Man's Land. Let's see, sugar. Ooh, this only holds 360,000 liters. So I think maybe the rest of the harvesting I can probably bring over one more trailer. I mean, it should be perfect for this trailer. This trailer holds 120,000 liters, so if I times it by 3, that's 360. So I can bring over one more trailer, then the rest will have to go into the silo, which will be fine. The silo, we got plenty of room in there. And then we can bring it over little at a time. Yeah, No Man's Land, the factories they used on that one was the Epideth no handcuffs mod. Basically, it's basically the same factories as the base game comes with, but everything was multiplied by 5. So the speed, it produced it 5 times as fast. I think held 5 times as much. But now I use the factory upgrade mod because I think it's more realistic to pay for upgrades on it. But the no handcuffs mod in the beginning of No Man's Land definitely was very helpful and needed for that series. I might as well go ahead and just turn this on. We'll empty it out. It's not a full trailer, but I'll bring it on over, and now the rest of the harvesting I take care of later on. Well, all that will go into the silo. And actually, that seemed like a long ways around last time, so this time I'm going to swing around right here. Actually, I did get a full trailer. Okay. Although it looks like it emptied out the combine. You gonna tell me the combine had exactly 120,000 liters into it? Or is there like 5 liters left in there? So it looks like we're going to be doing some sugar beet harvesting in the evening hours here this month. But that'll be at the beginning of next episode. We'll wrap up sugar beet harvesting. May do a little bit of a time lapse, and maybe we'll put down some lights as well around the farm. We do got a little bit of cash. Lights don't cost that much. We can kind of light up the areas. We don't do that much work at nighttime, but when we do, having some lights around would help us out quite a bit. Mainly around the animals when I go to feed them, but I'm trying to remember, I think last winter I walked around there when it was dark, and it wasn't a lot of the lighting from the sheds seemed to be enough, but maybe we'll throw down a couple here and there. And this should keep the sugar beet factory running for a while. Wow, looks like someone just flicked a switch there. It seemed like it got dark there in a matter of a second. Yep, so the rest will definitely go into the silo. And hopefully the sugar beet harvesting won't take us too long. I don't want to be working too late until the night. We'll see how late we do have to work next time, because that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Hinterland, but until then, have a good one.